got the rear suspension done, well, except for the shock mounts. I don't have the shock mounts on yet, but I got pretty much the rest of it. Got my adjustable springs. I need 2 nuts. I got, when I get some more weight on it, it's gonna go down further. Probably I'll be able to put a jam nut on there too, but right now I just got one. Now, if anybody wants to learn anything about this triangulated 4-link, I can give you a few tips. Start with the bottom bar and the top bar. Okay, the top bar is 70% shorter than the bottom bar. So in my case, the bottom bar is 16 inches from eye to eye, and the top bar is 70% of that, which is 12 inches from eye to eye. Another thing I had to do, I just hooked up the bottom bars, and I got a transmission jack under the rear end to keep it which way I wanted level, and I let the chassis all the way down. Let the chassis all the way down till it hit the bump stop. And then you got to get to the point where his eye meets up. Then you got to jack the chassis up as high as it's going to go. About where it's at now is about as high as I went with it. With the rear end level, and you got to get this point. So the trick is to get this point in the same spot with it jacked all the way up or all the way down. So you have to move, actually had to move this up, and I had to adjust this up and down until I got to the sweet spot. So when it goes up and down, the rear end stays level. I'll give you a demo. So what you want this, when the car goes up and down, the rear end stay level. So, to get in this point, all the rest of the points is not a big deal. These last 2 points is you got to find a sweet spot between up and down to hook this, where if the chassis goes all the way down, the rear end level. If the chassis comes all the way up, the rear end level. That's the trick. And as you can see, I got it where the transmission, the rear end stays level all the time. I got adjustments. I need to tilt the rear end down just a little bit. I got adjustments to do all that. No problem. I just got it stuck together right now. But hey, it works. Parallel suspension and a 4-link suspension is the way it acts. Okay, for one thing, this rear end can do this and this triangulated. See, I can do that. With the parallel 4-link, it won't do that. Rear end rigid, it won't do this. Very little, it won't do hardly any. And you got to have a panhard bar on a parallel 4-link to keep the rear end center. Triangulated, you don't have to have the panhard bar, and then you got the rear end to do this. So you can't go side to side with it. The rear end is going to stay there. So, triangulated 4-link versus parallel 4-link. Parallel 4-link is more or less drag racing. Triangulated is you want something to drive on the highway and do that kind of stuff. Yeah, I went ahead and changed, put new bearings, axle bearings, and wheel seals, axle seals in this rear end while I had the axles out. And filled it up with new limited slip gear oil. So rear end will be good to go. I think triangulated 4-link's gonna work out good there. I don't think we're gonna have no problem with that. So what I'll do now, next video, I'm gonna have the front, I'm gonna go ahead and set up the front suspension. I'm gonna make it, it's gonna be a roller. Have it rolling in the next video, and get the old pull out one of my small block motors and transmission, and start fitting that up, and brakes and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, we're getting there. Appreciate you.